See all them white sparks? That's titanium. Oh man, that's cool. This must be an ice maker. I'm gonna cut this open. Matter of fact, I'm gonna cut it open right now while it's draining. Today on Project Shop, I'm gonna introduce you to another source of scrap that is not an electrician. These actually come from people that maintain boats, specifically the water systems and the ice makers on like $1 million boats and yachts and stuff like that. These are little self-contained, basically they look like a AC compressor condenser setup from your house unit, but these are for cooling water and making ice. This one here, you can see the water in and out. And the type of scrap you're going to get out of these, obviously some copper, some compressors, and then you're going to get stuff like stainless steel, sheet aluminum. Sometimes you'll get cast aluminum, electric motors, and brass. There's going to be tons of little brass fittings all up and through here. So one of my first little shops I had years ago, the guy next to me actually built and maintained these things. He had a company where I think he either died or moved. I forget what happened to him, but I used to buy all these from him. And it's been a couple, probably 4 years since I've actually had one of these. And I totally forgot about these until today when I was driving with my buddy. We went over to look at some a couple giant bins, a few thousand pounds of copper that we're trying to get a hold of. And these were sitting outside by the dumpster, and I'm like, yo, stop, stop, stop. You know, I knew exactly what they were when I seen them. And I drove by that building a bunch of times and didn't even know that there was a company in there that did this. So I'm gonna go back over there and shoot them some numbers and see if I can't secure all of them, because they're well worth getting if you can find them. Now I live in West Palm Beach, Florida, so I'm surrounded by tons of yachts and boats. So there's a lot of these in South Florida, and pretty much anywhere where there's big boats. If you're on the coast, you know, there are gonna be tons of these. And the reason they're so compact and small is they're on a yacht. You know, obviously space is the real estate is very important. And they make them like this because if they're in the yacht, they're in a tight spot, there's no way to maintain them. You got to kind of cut them out of there and pull the whole unit out as one solid thing. And the guy that was next to me in my shop, he actually had a whole bench tester set up, which was pretty cool to watch it, because you could see the cold water. And then he actually had the ice makers on yachts, or at least the ones that I seen, the ice comes out of like a tube, and then it goes through like a bend which cracks the ice in little pieces, and then it's just extruded out of a tube. It's actually pretty cool to watch. But anyway, I'm gonna, since I got these for free, I'm not really you know, pressed for time and breaking these down, so I'm gonna take my time, probably put on the head cam and knock these out and see what kind of scrap we can get out of them. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is try to tear down this electric motor that I found along with it. I don't think this came out of a yacht. This looks like something from an actual house AC AC unit. So that's pretty straightforward. Now, if you watch the end of my 500-pound aluminum donut video, you'll see where I show a video of a guy breaking these down. Okay, we're gonna start with Enjoy. Looks like they just packed a whole bunch of stuff in here. Well, that's cool. Oh, you know what? These things here, see, I'm all about repurposing. I look at stuff like this, immediately I'm thinking parts for my water sluice. This is gonna be perfect. Put a cap on one end and use this for a disruptor. Yeah, this will work great. So we're gonna set these aside. I don't even know what, that might be brass. Yeah, whatever it is, it's either way, we're keeping that. And look at that, man. Nice little hose, stainless hose clamps probably. Where's my maggot? Yep, stainless hose clamps. So we'll set this to the side and see what else we can accumulate out of this thing. Okay, so these straps I think are stainless. Stainless, all right. I think I got a stainless bucket right there. Stainless, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be stainless. Now, what's next? So I think I could just cut that with bolt cutters. Now I like using bolt cutters a lot to cut copper. Works pretty good, and these little ones get down in tight spots. Perfect. So what else we got here? Got another one here. Let's see, cut it over here. All right. Now this thing here, this one probably, yeah, this one's magnetic. Sometimes like that's copper. A lot of times they're copper. So we'll probably cut this up and see what's inside of it, because I think it's a tube within a tube. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Stainless steel. I probably should have kept that plate, but okay. That's why I love these snips, because they just kind of get down in there. All the tight spots. You got long handles. Let's see what we got here. We got some brass. It needs looks like someone already started taking it apart. I have no idea what this is. Some type of sensor, a float sensor maybe, a little spring-loaded deal there. I don't know if we can get that apart further, but let's see if these are stainless. Yep, so that's stainless, and we're gonna need a bucket for, that's cast. I can go in there. I can go in there. Put the brass in there. This is it could be number 1 insulated. Nope, that's tin coated, so that's number 2. I might even strip that. It's thick enough we could strip. Get some number 2 copper out of it. And let's see what else we got here. Man, this thing's heavy. All right, let's take these sides off. So we're gonna need, that's it. These are probably stainless. I love recovering good hardware, good metals, anything that can be repurposed, reused, you know, rather than spend the time and energy to melt it down. If it could just be reused or repurposed, you know, give it a little bit more life. These are, pretty sure these are stainless steel. In my storage unit, I have a whole big old nut and bolt bin where probably 60-70% of the nuts and bolts that I have in there I recovered, or somehow I came across like a big old lot of random nuts and bolts that were like brand new. You know, it only takes a second. With the price of everything going up, I try to save as much stuff as I can, you know, especially if you're getting it for free, you know. So this is just going to be my time involved in this. Well, maybe I need bigger bolt cutters. There we go. Yeah, even if you're doing AC, like a home AC unit, bolt cutters or cable cutters, cutting the copper is the way to go, at least for me. Let's see here. See, I'll sit here and clean all that up. That's number one. Well, it's got paint on it, so I don't know if they would consider that number one. I gotta talk to my buyer about that. Okay, people call me nonstop. Let's see here. This one here, right on the borderline of whether it's gonna make it or not. All that oil dripping out of there. It is gonna be a little messy. But oh, that's water. It's gonna be worth it in the end. Let's see what we got there. All right, let me unscrew this stuff. I got little nuts on the back side. That's stainless. Oh man. You can get your finger back there. You know, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know why I stopped buying these. Look at that. Someone glued wood back here. What? That was their seal? You gotta be kidding me. It's probably mahogany or something. So I got my favorite crescent wrench. Check this thing out. Bought this at Walmart a while ago before I stopped shopping there. And this thing opens up bigger than any wrench I've ever had, and it's pretty cool. So we're gonna cover some brass real quick, if it'll get it off of there. Nice. That's also a keeper. So I'm gonna assume that's steel. Yep, I'm going to prepared steel with that. And stainless steel with that. Stainless hose clamp. We'll be definitely keeping those. And let's see how we can get this off of here. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Sawzall and cut real close in there. Let's see what we got here. A big old torch. That's pretty cool. This was my 18 volt DeWalt I had for years. I never really used, and then I bought this kit, which I'll do a review on, with these this adapter and these 20 volt to step it up. And I'll tell you what, it's been a while since I used the 18 volt batteries on this thing, but it seems like these 20 volt lithium ions really make this thing cook. Okay. The torch, no wonder there was steel there. I was like, there's no way that copper is that hard to cut. Ooh, that's hot. See, this is basically the inside of them pipes. Look like that. There's like pipe in a pipe sometimes. Let's get this off of here. Probably get #1 copper out of this. Oh, that's interesting. That looks like brass. That's definitely brass. That's definitely copper. So that's pretty interesting. I might looks like they welded the insert into the, or brazed it in there. Okay, one more at the bottom. Whew, look at that. I don't know if that's oil or water. Looks like a mix. You can kind of see it wanting to separate. Yeah, that's oil and water. My table here is actually beveled down towards the middle here, and there's a hole somewhere around here. There's a hole, I believe. Why are you stuck? Yeah, there's a hole there. And these are plastic, I believe, so they can go in the garbage. Yeah, so this table, actually, I got from a guy that built ice packing machines for Ready Ice. This table had this giant machine, and I'm regretting it to this day. It had all these hydraulics with electric hydraulic valve switches. It was all automated, and there was these switches, these time switches, and a big pump, motor, all the valves, all the hydraulic systems. Basically, it had everything I needed for my stator wrecking machine. But the video that I'm building that off of, I didn't see till about 6 months after I had given a guy that moved into the shop next to me. He was a hydraulic repair guy, and he was building a portable power unit basically to power the hydraulics to bench test them. And you know, he was, you know, coming up, struggling, trying to start his business. And I had all the, I come across tons of stuff, you know. A lot of times I just scrap it because I ain't got the room for it or the need at the time for it, but I'd like to keep it. And this stuff I would have liked to keep, and I would have kept it if I'd known that I needed it. But I basically gave him the unit, I gave him the hydraulic power unit, and a bunch of other stuff, and some Parker cylinders and stuff like that. And you know, anyway, the machine sat on here, and I guess if there was water dripping, it dripped down into that hole. So this is nice for breaking stuff down because one, it has this lip on it. It's pretty heavy duty, and anything I put on here and disassemble, everything drains down there. I just put a bucket down there, it collects it. Now if you look, these actually have round legs, and they're only about that big. This is a short table. So what these square things are is actually square light poles from one of my electrical contractor customers, where I went and picked them up, where they changed them out. And a lot of times I'll get a bunch of these where the bases are rotten off, but like 90% of the steel pole itself is good. And I like to repurpose it. And it worked out perfect. I built a heavy duty base for this table. And once again, one more example of repurposing stuff that probably would have went to the scrap yard. Okay, more #2 copper. And let's see. Nope. What did I do with that other one? Maybe that's it. Is that it? That's it. Sometimes these are just pressed in. These are like somehow riveted in there, and sometimes they'll spin. And like this one here, it's got this mat. It's just a pain in the butt. You know, if they start spinning, then you got some issues. So, okay, now that we got this off, you can see how there's like copper and whatnot. I wonder if this thing will come apart. I've never actually tried to take it apart because I'm pretty sure it's soldered together and not really worth the time and effort to try to get it apart. We're just gonna put this to the side and we'll play with that later. Let's just worry about getting this broke down. They come, I mean, once you do one or two, they're pretty easy. Now normally, like with stuff that I have a lot of the same, I do one step at a time to each of them, but these are all different. So you're pretty much, you just focus on one and get it done, and you know, just keep moving. You know, that's the only thing about scrapping. You just got to keep moving, and try to handle it as little as possible, because the more you play with this stuff, the less it's worth. Are these stainless lock nuts? Oh yeah, they're keepers. Not nylock. Some nice stainless washers. I get excited about hardware, free hardware. Oh, it's stuck. You know, because if you're going to build a project, it's nice to have a good assortment of. We'll just keep that. Don't go overboard and keep every single nut and bolt you come across. That's just ridiculous. But stainless hardware, that's always something you want to keep. Now, AC compressors, back in the day, I used to get a bunch of these things, and I've never actually cut one of these open. The guy that used to work for me, he used to cut them open all the time, and I've never done it. I would just buy them and sell them. Yep. Stainless steel. So now that's the only thing about this stuff, and one reason why I really never cared to mess with these is just the oil you deal with and the mess. And look at my table, you know. But you know, if you deal with it on a daily basis, you get tricks and you learn ways not to get this shit all over the place. And having a good bench like this where it doesn't matter, you can just let the shit spill in there. I'll just throw this in there for now, and then what I'll do is, normally stuff like this, I'll set my cable cutters up in the vise and just use them to shear this stuff down and to clean it up into #1 copper. And then this here, I think what I'm gonna do with this is I'm actually gonna drain it. It looks just like straight up water coming out of there. That's weird. I'm gonna cut this open. Matter of fact, I'm gonna cut it open right now while it's draining. Let's see what we got. Okay. Wow. So looks like we need some 6-point sockets. Whoo! Look at that. I don't know what that is. Looks like some type of something. Cast aluminum. And it looks like it's stuck in there pretty good. So we'll grind down the bottom and then grind down a slot. Now, there's actually a machine, and you can look it up online and look up compressor recycling machine. It's like a can opener. They secure this down to a rotating table, and then there's these things that come in from the side, and there's 4 rollers on it, and they're on a cam like this. So for the ones that are oval, it'll still work for them. It actually, you'll see it rocking back and forth. But basically it comes in from the side and then just puts pressure and works just like a pipe cutter. It just squeezes harder and harder as it's turning, and pops this off in a couple seconds and pops that off in a couple seconds. And then there was actually another machine that I saw where they were taking this and they had a roller on like a thing that just went back and forth, and they did the same thing with a blade, and it just went back and forth and cut this open. I'm gonna build one that does this, but not in the fancy way that they had it. I got a much simpler version that I've been thinking about that I want to build, and you know, we'll see how it works. See what's in here. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around this way. Okay, let's see what we got. Looks like possibly cast aluminum. More of that, I'm pretty sure that's aluminum, but we're gonna find out. If that is, we're gonna be mounting this crap down. And then there's the coil. I guess we'll have to make a cut down the side. All right, I heard a pop. Let's give it a little assistance. Okay, let's see if that comes out of there. Okay, wants to get a little difficult. Okay, so it's just getting caught up on this little lip here. It's actually free. You can see it move around, you know. It's just that lip. There it is. And this, whatever that is, that's stuck in there pretty good. And from what I can see here, there's dimples. So that's gonna need a little more sauce to come out of there. Probably knock it that way. Free it up. Yeah. There we go. What's that bar at? Yep. There we go. That is steel, I think. Yeah, that's prepared steel. Yeah. I'll send that as prepared steel. And I'll send that as prepared steel too. And that's cast aluminum. Oh, you know what? Crap. I'm throwing all that in there. And I'm supposed to be saving it. So we'll do prepared steel. Prepared. Oh, these are nice. Is there any more of these? These are nice spacers. Those are keepers. Prepared. This is prepared, but I guess you would call that irony aluminum. We'll put that with it, but we'll weigh that separate on it when we weigh this stuff up. I had to recover all this out of that thing. I was just throwing it all out. And that. Now, this I'm gonna save. And we're gonna add this with those other ones over there. But for now, we'll put it right here. Okay, on to the next victim. This one from Glazed. So this one's like, we'll see if we can, how much of this we can unbolt. Probably stainless. That is actually, yep, stainless. Okay. Nice. What we got? What do we need to disconnect? Let's see what we got here. Some #2 copper. Why this is all up in here like that? Shoot. Okay. Okay. What? Okay, the battery died, but I'm back at it. And let's just cut this off here for now. I'll probably just leave that, you know. Throw that with the #2 copper. We'll process later. And looks like there's a little brass fit in. Oh, that's easy. We'll put that in there. Let's I wonder what's in that box. Capacitors. It's actually a nice little table for something. Maybe I'll make that a stool. Huh. It's pretty cool. Okay, back to work. That's probably got contacts in it. Ow, I just stabbed myself. I have picks for this. Picks. This and a, let's see. I used to save, I don't know if I still have them, but I used to save all kinds of contacts because maybe not this one, this stuff right here is usually silver. And right there, yeah, silver. You could just heat this up with a torch, and those little buttons will slide right off of there, and you can collect a whole big thing of them. That looks like either aluminum or silver too. And then there's a little coil of copper in there. I mean, if you take the hammer and just give it a couple whacks, you'll see the copper. See that? Oh, look at that. Man, that's a big old chunk of number 2 in there. Wow. Look at that. It's like hair. It looks like dreads. We got a number 2 copper right there. Now, I want to get a hammer mill for stuff like this. As soon as I get a shop where I can make noise again, there's going to be a hammer mill coming to this channel for various. I got a ton of different things. One guy in the comments asked me if I ever got into computer boards. I dabbled in them a little bit years ago when they first started becoming popular, but like there wasn't a good source to get rid of the stuff, and it just I just was too busy with other things to get into it. But I would actually like to get a ton of them and run them through a hammer mill, grind the stuff down into a pulp, and run it through a water sluice and separate them. You should see the shaker tables that Mount Baker Mining and Metal have, because I guess they started out doing gold stuff, but they're hammer mills and stuff. The guy, he's running through scrap through them, man, and it's pretty cool stuff. Really impressed me when I watched him throw 20-something pound transformer in that hammer mill and it just tear it down. So this got copper on it. There's that little button. So maybe we'll just we'll start a pile of this stuff. I'll start an electronic pile, that way one day when I do get a hammer mill, I got plenty of material to run through it. Wow, that was crazy. That almost felt like it looks like copper. Yep, that's number 2 copper. More contacts. Number 2 insulated. Probably more copper in here. Look at that. Big old chunk of brass right there. I don't know where my pliers are. They just up and disappeared on me. Let's see if we can get... Alright, we'll deal with that later. It's not important. Let's see where we're at with this one. Let's this one got a big old electric motor on it. More number 2. And let's get the bolt cutters out. Bigger bolt cutters. Let's see where we're at. Whoa, whatever that is tough. Oh, big old chunk of metal. That's why. And that looks like that's probably stainless steel. Huh. Okay. Let's get that off of there. We'll come back and upgrade all this stuff later. Prepared steel. Okay. It's number 2 copper. Number 2 copper. Whew. And I don't know what this is. This one. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. This looks like it's got either cast aluminum. Yeah. It's cast aluminum base. Nope. Yep. Looks like more stainless hardware. Yep. A good collection. Oh, I didn't think I was going to be able to get that one. Now, normally when I'm doing stuff like this, I have a rule that I try to stick by. 5 seconds. Try not to let 5 seconds go by between you taking one bolt out and the next bolt or the next process. You know, if you keep that rhythm and you know, you keep that pace up, and no matter what you're doing, at the end of the day, you're gonna have a nice little pile. You know, you just got to keep moving. Don't just stand there and look at it and think it's gonna take itself apart. Okay, just let that sit over here and drain. If it's got anything to drain out. And this is cast. It's a plastic bung there. That's a nice little pan, actually. If that wasn't in there, I might even keep that. Oh, that unbolts. Yeah, I got enough shit. Alright. Nice. Yeah, we'll keep them clamps too. They're probably stainless. Well, you know what? Probably not going to keep these clamps because these are V-band clamps and specific. Wow, that's heavy. I don't know what that is, but it is really heavy. See if I can get that cap off of there. It's like a top of a piston. Oh, that's soft. What is that? It's like a sponge. Okay. Okay, what's this for? What's this about? Not sure, but it's moving. It looks like this electric motor goes into like a transfer case down here and spins whatever this is. That's metal, prepared steel. This, it looks like, maybe, yep. Harbor Freight socket. Good job. And nice chunk of stainless steel. Big old chunk of prepared. Huh. It's a bearing. It's interesting. Okay. And let's pull that off. That's cool. Floette, I guess. Alright, cast, you're in the way. Stainless V-band. Yep. Really want to keep that, but it's kind of specific to that size for some type of V-band. I don't know. We'll send it. You got to draw a line somewhere. You can't keep it all. Because I certainly would. Okay. And oh man, that's cool. This must be an ice maker or something. I'm pretty sure this is probably an ice maker. Water comes in here probably. This would be the coolant to cool, and then this would force the water out this hole, frozen. And that's where I was telling you, it would come through a tube and come out little chunks. Maybe, assuming. Let's see. Yeah, nice chunk of stainless steel there, man. Wow. So we got, this is probably all stainless. Let me just get that off of there. Garbage. And it looks like plastic. Let's see how this is going to come on. Some nut drivers. Everything's got a nice coat of oil, which we'll come back here with some degreaser and just spray all this shit down when we're done. Nice little cone. Is that? It's plastic. Okay. I don't think it might be this size. Yep. Is that stainless? Yep, more stainless screws. Ah, that's freaking hot. Whew. Okay. And I'm gonna say that's stainless. Feels about right. Yep. And then we got this motor, which is bolted to this, which is, looks like a giant star bit. Oh, this thing came right off. Look at that. Wow. We got stainless steel. That's heavy. That's a nice chunk. Yeah, like I said, these yachts, most of the stuff on there, if it's going to be metal, it's going to be either stainless steel, brass, aluminum, you know, stuff that's not going to rust. I've never actually taken one of these apart before. That's prepared steel. Uh-oh. This looks like got some crud in there. See if we can't clean it up a little bit before we totally strip it. And you know what? That's a smaller size. Why would they do that? Just to freak with you. You know? One oddball in the mix. Gotta make it difficult. Let's see what we got. Cool little gearbox. Some more cast aluminum. I guess that's cast. Let's see, gear oil and prepared steel. Cool little gearbox. And then they'd have of course they would have a plastic gear in there, you know, so all this and then that plastic gear would probably wipe out. Why power all that with a plastic gear and you got that giant steel gear right there? That's the kind of shit that just makes no sense to me. Like, well, who the hell would make a gear out of something that's not metal, you know? Why? Look at that. Crud or whatever that is. More prepared steel. Okay. Maybe not. It doesn't want to come off. Looks like it's coming right off right now. There we go. Garbage. Freaking oil slick. Look at my tools, man. Oh. Wow. Feels like stainless and steel. if that works. There we go. That's a little tough because I beat the crap out of the top of it. Oh. Okay. Hey, man. It's loose now. It should come off of there. All right. I'll send that right as cast. And got another little stator. Look at that. More aluminum. Get the smelter out here one day, dude. We'll melt all this crap right down. We're gonna recover it all. So this will save this. Will also save. I will cut that out of there right now. My greasy hands. Oh, I haven't done one of these in a while, but a lot of times there'll be gaps in here somewhere. Like this one only has like, I don't know if you can see that little things, but there'll be like flat spots in that thing where if you can see where it is, it's easier to cut on that line because you can get the blade in there. That's it. Now the reason I was telling you that is because when you're cutting stuff like this, it's better, instead of trying to just score the top of it and you're cutting onto that flat piece, it's better to actually penetrate into it and cut down in one shot. So got another nice little chunk of copper there. I'll send that as prepared. And this here irony aluminum, we'll put that right here for now. And another little sponge. A lot of sponges in this shit. All right, I gotta take a break and make a couple phone calls here. Okay, so we're back on this stuff. I'm gonna actually cut these open. I want to see if I can separate these pipes that are in here. Definitely got oil dripping out. I put this thing down here because I really try not to let oil get on the concrete and make it. I kind of messed it up here the other day doing these. And you know, I was thinking, I think that's why I really stopped messing with these, is because at the time I really I didn't have a nice setup, and I didn't like dealing with all that oil. Oh, that's nice. There's a weld in there or something. Let's see if we can't just get it to bend down. Oh, look at that. You know what? That might be, I know like pool heaters sometimes have titanium. It's moving. Let's see if we can get that out of there. Oh, that's interesting. I've seen this spiral stuff before down there in Miami, and the guy told me it was titanium. But I don't know what it is. I'm gonna try to have it checked. I think titanium has like white sparks, so definitely not magnetic. This is see all them white sparks? That's titanium. So we're going to recover a little bit of titanium and see how much of that we can get out of here. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's titanium. We're going to have it checked, but from what I understand, white sparks. And this looks exactly like the pool heater that I seen that he told me was titanium. It's pretty interesting how not only is it spiraled, but I don't know how well if this is coming in on the camera, but it's almost like gnarled, if you know what that is. It's almost like a, I don't know, but hey dude, I got titanium here. Okay, so I got kind of ahead of myself. I should have thought more about where I was going to cut these, because I don't think if I cut it here, I'll be able to push that out around that bend. So they're probably best to cut actually in the corner. So I'm probably going to have to cut all four corners and hope I can knock that out, because I'm assuming that they fed that in when this was straight, and then they put all these bends in it afterwards. I doubt that they forced that in that spiral like that. So, and it's pretty interesting. If you look at these really close, I don't know how that's coming in on the camera, but it almost looks, the only way I can describe what it looks like is if you know what a knurling effect on a lathe would do. Basically a knurling would be like what the back of my machine has, these checkered marks. It almost looks like that. And I don't, maybe it's for heat disbursement or a better way to absorb the heat or cooling, whatever it's doing. It's pretty interesting. I'd like to know why they did it that way and why it's spiraled like that and not just like you know, straight. You know what I'm saying? And I could see maybe doing that but straight, but I'd like to know why the spiral, why that stuff is in there. That's just like the kind of stuff that goes through my mind when I look at stuff like that. Okay, it's a big difference in constant power. So this is my first time actually doing anything like this. So if y'all know a better way of doing this, let me know. Or if it's even worth it. I'll probably drop this video before I get the chance to go to the scrapyard. Hopefully. What's coming out of there? Definitely tough. Those little gnarling, yeah, you can see it's flat because it's getting forced. That's what it is. It's coming up that bend. I don't like that. I'm surprised how light that is. How rigid that stuff is. That's pretty cool. I'd like to melt the titanium down and make something cool out of it. I don't want to get my thing stuck in there. See if we just catch that lip. There we go. All right. Prepared steel. Actually, now see, that comes right out of there. I guess because it's just going right around the curve. There's no straight spots in it. So if we take that into consideration, if we get it on the same, if you cut it where it's the same curve, it should just slide right out of there. We'll try that on one of these other pieces. So we could cut it here and here maybe. I don't know, we'll see. All right.